The three standards I chose to relate to this atmosphere lesson is 5 ESS 2-1, develop a model using an example to describe ways the geosphere, biosphere, hydrosphere, or atmosphere interact. So for that specific standard, we're just focusing on the atmosphere. The next one is 3 ESS 3-1, make a claim about the merit of a design solution that reduces the impacts of weather-related hazards. So that's relating to how the atmosphere protects Earth from any hazard. And finally, 4 ESS 2-2, analyze and interpret data from maps to describe patterns of Earth's features. So we're going to be looking at maps and images of the atmosphere and finding the patterns of the 5 layers of the atmosphere. After reading a book about the atmosphere to engage the students and then asking questions to the students about if they know anything about the atmosphere already, and then going over the vocabulary sheet and the layers of the atmosphere and showing the maps and the images, that you can have the students go ahead and conduct the experiment. You want to make sure that the students are putting in the amount of liquid, the thickness of that layer. The liquid you need to represent the layers of the atmosphere for this project can be bought at any grocery store. So first is honey, then we have syrup or corn syrup, dish soap, cup of water, and vegetable oil. You'll pour them in the cup in this specific order. I just finished pouring in all the liquids. I didn't record myself doing that because it does take a long time. Pouring the liquids in slowly is so important. I had to redo it a couple times because they started to mix. So you can look at the finished product. You can see the darker layers at the bottom, and then it gets lighter towards the top. You can see each individual layer. The students will label the layers of the atmosphere. Earth is like the bottom of the glass, so you go up from there for the layers. I know it is kind of hard for you guys to see the individual layers. It is a lot easier to see in person. One thing to check for after the students and their partners have filled up their cups with the liquid is to make sure that the stratosphere, which is this corn syrup or syrup, is the thickest layer, because that's how it works with the layers of the atmosphere. The mesosphere, which is the dish soap, the dark blue part, is the thinnest layer. So that's something to assess when you are looking at the students' cups. 2 related concepts to this atmosphere lesson is density and measurements. The benefits of implementing this lesson in your classroom is that the students are given a visual representation of what the atmosphere layers are like. There's a lot of collaboration with this lesson, either whole class discussions or with your partners, and it is a very hands-on lesson. 2 challenges that might occur in the classroom though when you are doing this lesson is that it can get a little messy with all the liquids being poured into jars, and also that if you pour the liquids too fast into the jars, they will end up mixing, so it's important to remind the students that you have to pour them slow so that they'll stay in their layers. To make this experiment more inquiry, you can have students research different liquids they can use to put in the jar, but you just have to make sure that the students understand how density works. So the densest liquid has to be on the bottom, and then you go with less density towards the top. You can also have students drop marbles or dice in the liquid to show how the layers protect Earth, and then you would have to ask students what they think Earth needs protected from, other than meteoroids and asteroids and radiation.